Hey folks, hi, this is Gigi. Hope you're all doing well. Well, it is Money Monday. Say that 3 times fast. Gigi's not going to do that. But anyway, we're here. We're going to drop some money. Gigi's trying to get back on track. I got a new number for the end of March and April. Getting us caught up. There's growth, which was better. But I was doing a lot of traveling, a lot of stuff going on. But we did save some money. And that's the point. Because you got to try to be consistent. But before we start, here's cheers to you folks out there. Just a little wine. I didn't think much about my wine until I brought it in. I'm thinking, is that like a big glass of wine? I looked at the bottle and said, it looks like there's just a little bit of wine in there. So I went ahead and took it. It's a Cabernet. I cannot remember the name. I will put a picture of the bottle right there. Not bad. I'm finding, as the older I have gotten, I seem to appreciate a good Cabernet. So, cheers, folks. Tits up. Here we go. Good start. A little dry, but that's okay. I appreciate that. All right. Okay, now what's going on with my stuff here? It's always something. Hold on. Oh, I'm just going to go ahead and record. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Get it together.
Because my Sony should be able to sync with my iPad, and I'm not sure what's going on. I do know the Sony's on. I'm hoping that I'm in frame. I know my overhead's up and running. So we're just going to do it. We're going to kill it because that's just what we do here. Gigi's learning all the time, and you guys are here on the journey with me. Appreciate you coming. But let's see how much money we're going to be counting first, or dropping today, okay? So, you know what? Before I do that, let's see how much money we saved, okay? So what I started doing this year is starting to track how much money we saved each month. Well, as you can see, Gigi did not do a good job of tracking for March and April. And since today is May 30th, because I tape on Friday. No, today's Saturday. Today is May 30th, yeah. I usually tape on Friday and I upload it on Monday because I was just kind of used to that, but I'm still behind a day because today's Saturday we upload it. So tomorrow's actually the end of the month, but I know I'm not going to get any money. I'm not going to pull that because, as you recall, what I do is I pull this from our household account. So I'm not going to pull any more money, so I just went, that's the number, we're solid. So for the month of May, we actually did pretty good. We had saved altogether, for the month of May, we saved $1,006. So let's go at the beginning. For the month of January, it was $328. For the month of February, it was $764. And you have to realize that May number also includes whatever I was able to save from March and April. It was probably just a little bit. It came out to $1,006. So far to date, from January to May, we've saved $2,098. My goal is to try hit 10,000. I'm thinking I don't see us traveling. The holidays is where we're going to get hit again. So right now we're at 2,098. That's okay because that's like what 400, like 400 a month that we're kind of saving. I like to try to see if we can get that up to 600 a month. So anyway, we'll see. But right now, it's not a great number, but hey, it's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened if I didn't save that money? There are things, the traveling would have been limited. Some of the bills that we take care of would have been out of the household instead of me planning for it. So that's still a good number. I wish it was better, but that's still a good number. Because you know why? Because we're still continuing to do it. We're not letting that stop us. Oh no, it was only $2,000 for the whole month since the beginning of the year. Yeah, but you know what? We're still here. We're still going to do it. We're still going to try to make that number. Right. Okay, so there we go. So that's where we at. That's where we be at the end of May. So let's go ahead and start counting our money to kind of see how much money we're going to be saving for this week. So folks, I hope you're all doing well. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day week. As you saw, I was quite festive in my little outfit, except I forgot I had a glass that had the U.S. The American flag on it, and I just found it right now when I went looking for a wine glass. I go, that's the glass I should have had. Anyway, so let's go ahead and count some money here. Like I told Big Dog, I just can't remember. My brain will only hold so much information. That's right. So anyway, let's go ahead and count. do 50. Oop, not 500, I wish. 50 plus 10, 20, 30, 40. Is that right? Yeah, 50. Another 50. 50, 50. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 60. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Wow. 192. That's all right. See, that's a better number. I like that. I like all those ones too. So anyway, let's go ahead and put that over here for right now. And we are going to go ahead and get my wine out of here. I won't have no accidents. Put that over there. Now here we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of money here. So today, like I said, was Saturday. Big Dog went flying. And I have been wanting to make banana donuts. I made a little clip there. I made chocolate donuts. I think it was last week and a half ago. Because I got these little donut pans. Because I've been wanting to do the donuts. So I went at the Big Dog. My mom really liked them. The chocolate one, chocolate and chocolate. This time I did a banana donut with brown butter glaze. You know, I was surprised there was no eggs in the rest. I was telling my mom there's no eggs in this recipe. The donuts, the donuts really were pretty light. The glaze is really pretty good. There's a little bourbon in the glaze. In fact, the gal that I was, I'll go ahead and tag the recipe that I got in my comments. I think it was Mallory. That's on TikTok. I think the first name is Mallory. I think that's where she's at, TikTok. Anyway, when she makes her brown glaze, she says, "Well, here's my old recipe book." And she goes, "And you can see it says half a cup of bourbon. I don't use a half a cup of bourbon." I said, "Wow, what a glaze is that?" I didn't use a half a cup of bourbon either. There's just a little bit of bourbon, then you make it up with water. But it was really pretty light. Because my daughter-in-law, Katie, she talks about, brown butter, and she makes it, blah, blah, blah. So I go ahead. I saw this glaze, and that's what they suggested, put in the bananas. It wasn't bad. It was really pretty good. And the good thing about it, that the brown butter, I was able to, butter, baby, butter. I was able to go ahead and freeze it. So I've got some of that in some cubes if I want to throw that in. And because it kind of gives the butter a little nutty flavor. So it's really pretty good. So anyway, that's what I did this morning. I was busy this morning. Then I had to go get my money for our drop today, and went to see my mom, making arrangements because my mom's got a birthday coming up this week. That's right, baby. So we did that, talked to her a little bit, talked to my daughter, and saw my baby girls. I saw my Morgan and Teddy. Oh, they're getting so big. They're so precious. I was doing itsy bitsy spider. Okay, anyway, that's a whole other thing. I'm gonna start going into baby talk here. You know, Gigi's how you talk when you talk to your baby. You know what I'll be talking about. But anyway, let's go ahead and save some money here. I think we're actually going to do 10. So let's go ahead and clear off 2 of these 5s right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, clear that off. And do you see? I went ahead and put my new pins in my handy dandy little holder there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one here. 10. But no, it's good to talk to my daughter, kind of catch up. The kids love to text. Mama wants to hear your voice. Mama wants to see you. My boy, I wish, call your mom. No, I text my kids all the time. Every morning, I give my kids a text. Let them know their mom was thinking about them. I always send them a good morning text. They don't always reply. It's a messenger, so I can see that they see the text. But every morning, wherever I'm at, if I'm traveling, it doesn't matter. I'm always sending my mom babies a good morning text from their mamas. And every once in a while, moms out there, you want to hear from your kids. And like I told my son, how come you don't call me? He goes, anytime there's a phone call, that means that there's something going on in the family. I go, no, maybe I just want to hear your voice. Maybe I just want to talk to you. I don't know, this generation, he's kind of weird that way. My daughter's really pretty good about that, but she's almost like 5 years younger than my son. So I was texting her, because usually me and her will FaceTime, and we can FaceTime for like up to an hour, which I love because I'm catching up with her, and now she's got the babies. So anyway, so I was texting her, I go, so when am I going to see your face? When are you going to FaceTime? Next thing you know, she calls me, hey, Mom. Okay. But that was fun. So I talked to her, chatted with her and the babies probably about 45 minutes. The pest control people came. made my banana donuts, and then ran down to the bank, get the money, and whoo! And then I had to get ready for our little talk today. So Gigi was ready. This week, I feel like, we did go shopping this week. I took my mom to, where did we go? We did go shopping. We went on Tuesday, we went shopping. Sure was a Ross. Oh, we went to Hobby Lobby, that's right. That's where we went. We went to Hobby Lobby. So I asked her, where do you want to go? Mom said Hobby Lobby, that's right. And then, and then we went to Winco. I knew we had gone someplace. Okay, here's 15 we're going to put in here. I don't know why I got so many ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's get rid of some of these. And then here's another 10. Be glad when I get these teeth taken care of. Oh my gosh. What color am I painting these? I think I'm painting them blue. Okay. So did that. I've been busy pinning, doing my Pinterest, and that's still coming along. But, it's a process. I took a hit. Now, I will be doing a separate video when I do once a month. I talk about my numbers for my affiliate marketing. Man, let me just say, Gigi took a hit when she went partying with her Charlie. But that's okay, because you got to do what you got to do. But, like anytime you start a business, you have to see it as a business. If you say, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll do something. I had to change. Look, I'm still looking for a job. I would love to get a job, even a part-time job. But, nothing's happening. So this Pinterest or this affiliate marketing, I enjoy the writing. And then I'm also writing on Substack. Love writing on Substack because that's more reflective, journal, blog type of format. You're more real, more raw on that. On that site. And I think I mentioned this before, where the stuff that I do for Pinterest and my website is more marketing. I'm showing a product. I want folks to get it. If you like it, to go ahead and click my pin, and then maybe you get a little bit off that. But so it's a different type of writing. I do enjoy both, but I'm enjoying that, so I've been busy with that. I can be in here all day long just writing and playing with pens. In fact, that's what I was. I finally had to stop because Big Dog, after I did all my running around this morning, I came home and I started pinning and pin. And I told Luna, hey, Luna, I gotta get a shower. I got things to do because I just get caught up, and before I know it, days gets away from me. But I did go and refreshing. I took my shower, put my face on, put my tie-dye shirt on, got my glass of wine. I said, I'm going to go talk to my folks now, Big Dog. He said, okay. But anyway, let's see here. Here's 30. Get some more 5s out here. We're going to put 35 here. And the tags are coming up, but I have almost until the end of June for that. So that's good. I'm really surprised how much time I have to pay the tags this year. Usually in Arizona, it's like, they don't give you a lot of time, but they gave me a whole month really, so I'm pleased with that. So getting that taken care of, I'm sure you folks can see that. Doing that. And put that in here. So what's everybody else doing out there? Oh, I know, I went to Costco because I had to go get some K-Cups, just a few things. For Big Dog, no craziness, he loves Costco. Okay, I know we were going to put 50 in here, so let's go put 50 in here. And let's go ahead and use pink on this one. So we behaved ourselves. We got chicken. I was able to get the chicken. There was a $5 off coupon or some type of instant rebate or something, so that was cool. And we picked up, I think 2 months ago we bought the cheesecake, because me and Big Dog love cheesecake. And I told Michael, you can freeze this cheesecake. And he goes, you can? Yeah. So I got the cheesecake, the original cheesecake. I think it was 2 months ago. Yes, because the bag said April. And what I did is, I served us, because we had to have a piece of cheesecake. So we had a piece of cheesecake. And then I cut everything else, cut them into slices. Then I froze them. And once in a while, because I still have some more of that original cheesecake still in the freezer, we'll just want a slice with some coffee, like after dinner. It was such a treat. So I'm trying to get the salted caramel cheesecake. I know they have it. I haven't been able to catch it there yet. We're working on it. So this time I picked up tiramisu. It's okay. It's got a lot more cream on it. It wasn't bad. It's all right. So let's see here. But it's all in the freezer, so nothing's happening with that right now. We're gonna go ahead and put the $8 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And next week, busy with just appointments all week long. Big Dog's got an appointment Monday, Thursday have an appointment. Wednesday, my mom is turning 86. Woohoo, mom. So I told her, so we doing a tat this year? My mom got a tattoo last year for Christmas. You rock, mom. So no tattoo this year. She goes, no, it's not like a 5 or 85 or 90 or anything like that. So no, we're not doing that. But we are going to go see, I've been wanting to go see that movie Prada, The Devil Wears Prada. I saw the original one, and what I'm hearing is this movie, the sequel, is supposed to be even better than the first one. That is really supposed to be good. So I asked my mom, I'd like to go to the movies, we can make that, for your birthday. She said, okay, so we're going to do that. I thought I'd be able to catch we have a theater close to our house, but they're not showing it there, and they're not showing it, the matinees are until noon, because sometimes you get like 11 o'clock, so I thought maybe we'd catch that, and if there's a little restaurant where I'd take her to, but that's not happening. But we are going to go ahead and pick her up, we're going to go check out the movie, come home, and we're going to have pizza and wine. And of course, you got to have cake and ice cream on the birthday. That's what we're going to be doing on the birthday. And see what other surprises. Because Mom's watching right now, so I can't say what else is going to be happening. But that's what's happening right now. Okay, Mom? All right. We're going to go ahead and put 50 in here. 10. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay. Get those. Let's we'll use purple. And then, so that's what we're doing next week. And then now I actually go to my dentist. I have a real dentist appointment this time. Last week he says, you ain't got no appointment this week. It's next week. Oh, okay. So another busy week is like, when does it slow down? Like, oh my gosh. And then next month, June, Gigi's gonna be turning 68. You're kind of thinking about that. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I got money left over. What am I doing here? What I think I was going to do, I wanted to fill these up. So here's 4, 5. So if we do 4 and 1, that's 5. And 2 and 3 is 5. So that's 10. So let's go ahead and put 10 here. I don't know how I did put extra money. That's okay. So let's go ahead and color these in, because I want to start working on this one, because the $1,000 one is going to just be about full pretty soon. We're going to be clearing that out this month, June, I mean. So we'll go ahead and there we go. That's progress now. That's cool. Whoop. Put those in there. Yeah, 68. I don't. 48. 48. I had a great time when I was 48. 50. I think I struggled a little bit turning 50. Most people, I think, have a number that maybe they struggle more with than others. I think 50 was for me. 60 wasn't. 60 was like, all right, I'm here. Let's do it. 68. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about 68. I have to think about that, because I've been kind of reflective about it lately. I even wrote about it in my Substack. I'll link that down below. I'm not quite sure, because I think, because when you think about, okay, wait. Let's go ahead. Stop what I'm doing. Let's put this money away, because we're done dropping money. I don't know how I ended up with a little extra, but that's okay. If I made a mistake, let me know. Let me know if I made a mistake. Do that. Because I did put the money in here, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, because I have a bunch of ones in there. Okay. Anyway, we're fine, Gigi. Put that in there. Save it for later. Let's put everything back so we can get cozy here. So, glad you're here. 190, what was it, 198? I think it was 193, 198 that we dropped today. Not a bad number. I'm really pleased with that. But I was talking about my birthday and how I've been kind of reflective about it. I think everybody has a time and they just kind of like assess where you're at. Now, I retired in 2022. Yeah, 2022 is, I believe, is when I retired. And then, when I talked to my mom about this, because when I was retiring, people kind of assumed I was going to retire. So I started saying I was going to retire. And I think there was an assumption greatly with my big dog, because he was retired and he wanted, he said, okay, I'm home. When you coming home? So there was that as well. But it felt, I was just done. I enjoyed the job. I enjoyed the people that I was working with. But, I was working at a funeral home during COVID. I had been there 7 years. I didn't have an issue working with the funeral home. Some people are like, ooh, you work at a funeral home? I enjoyed it. It was different. I learned something new. I was helping people, working with, some good people. I understand the purpose and the reason of the services that we were providing. It's very, very much needed service. So I enjoyed all that part of it. But there comes a time after 2020 and in 2 years of COVID, it wasn't stopping. I mean, the need continued, and we saw the population was changing as far as who we were receiving in, as far as taking care of. So it was just different. And I think after 2 years and saw that, we're going into a third year and we're still this busy, I think I was just burnt out. I think what the reality is. So I went ahead and gave notice, because the thing is, they already knew that I was going to be leaving. I wasn't going to be a long-term. Look, I was what, 60, what, how many, 64 at that time? Yeah, because I'll be 68, and that was in 2022. It's 40. I was 64. Yeah, I'm 64 years old. I'm thinking they figured I was going to get ready to be leaving soon. But could I have continued to 67? Yeah, I probably could have. But anyway, once I gave notice, it was like, and Big Dog said, okay, you're coming home. It surprised me that I was never asked, so what are you got another job? Or before, when I would give notice that I was leaving someplace, oh, where are you going to next? Or because usually that would happen, is that I was going to be going to another job. Usually, it was always for more money. So where are you going? That was never asked. I was never asked that. It was, oh, you're retired, huh? Oh, have fun. What are you gonna do? The whole feel of it was even different. So, and I at that point in time, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I needed to get out of there. That was it. I was just done, So, but as it turns out, the timing was good, because my dad at that time was dementia, and he was, he passed in 2024. So we're talking 2022. We're talking about 4 years prior to his passing. So I was here to be able to help, him and my mom. And me and Big Dog did a little traveling during that time as well. Would like to have done more, but that's just the way it goes. But now, I guess, because since my dad has passed, and what happened was that our truck has got 200,000 miles on it. And my concern is I wanted to build our savings account to have a little more money, because I know we're going to have to get another vehicle. So I figured a year out, which is what I'm talking about now, I could get a part-time or full-time job just to go ahead and start putting more money into the savings. Well, when you start, first of all, I was shocked and surprised. The first application resume I sent out, I got a response back, boom, like that, and went through a Zoom call, went through the whole process, and they hired me. And I was like, wait. At that time, when they did that, I was going to be traveling. It was around the holidays. My kids were coming into town. I knew I was going to go to Texas. I was not expecting to get, a response that quick, because it was very, very quickly. I was quite taken aback how fast it was. So I had to decline that position. So I waited till after the holidays, and now I'm going back out there, and nothing. I think I've told you I've got well over 80. I'm probably close to 100 resumes, and Indeed or ZipRecruiter. I got them out there. But nothing. And then my mom is the one that was telling me about this Lori Bellin and this Pinterest stuff, the blogging that she was doing. So when I started listening to her, everything made sense, and I kind of was already kind of doing some of that anyway. So when I started doing it, I started that February 1st. So February, March, I'm going into my fourth month, and I'm enjoying it. I've made a little bit of money. I am starting to get commissioned, a little tiny bit of money, but that is you gotta put the time in. I mean, yeah, Lori Bellin's making all kinds of money, but she's been doing it for 6 years. I've been only doing it going on my 4th month. So, there's a little disparity there as far as how much, I'm making. But the thing is, I'm making money. I'm getting the clicks. I'm getting results. I did take a hit because I was out of town for 7 days, 10 days. And just trying to get you have to try to gain your momentum back. But then that's like in anything that you start. Anytime there's something new, and if you stop, you're going to have to go back. You got to get your momentum back. So I'm starting to see that, climb back up, but it's going to take a little bit, and that's fine because I understand the process. So I'm still putting out resumes, but it's like, man, if this thing, because all it takes, like Big Dog says, all you need is one click, one revenue, and that's always the hardest one. And I got that, so the other ones are coming, they're just very, very small. So and I enjoy what I'm doing, and I think if you enjoy what you're doing, you don't have an issue with putting the time in because you're enjoying doing that. So I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. My mom does. She was a seamstress and a crafter for many, many, many years. My mom's very artistic, very crafty, and she had a following in Southern California, and she was making a little bit of money. And I know when I was in Fresno in Central Valley, California, I was a paralegal, but I also worked with another attorney outside of my firm that I did paralegal work for her as well. So I've always wanted the ability to be able to work from home and have my own business. And when I started doing that, I didn't see it as a business. I thought, well, let's see what we're going to do here. But now that the more I'm doing it, I have to, in order for it to function, to earn income, you have to see it as a business. If you go, well, let me see what I'm going to do, the effort's not there. The sweat and tears, more what they call equity sweat, isn't there. You got to put the equity sweat in order to get that payoff. And like I said, I understand that. Look, there's a few things I've learned along the way, and that's one thing I know for sure. You're only going to put into it, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. And I'm fine with that, because the thing is, I'm enjoying doing it. I think if it was something I didn't enjoy doing, oh man, I got to do that again. Well, that's hard. But no, I'm really enjoying doing it. I'm learning something new all the time. This AI stuff, man, this is like really, it's so unbelievable. I cannot imagine, I kind of can, how it will help in the workplace. Because I'm using it here, and I'm using it for more productivity tools, like scheduling, pulling the stats, understanding information, breaking down information for me. Because sometimes you get information like this and you're not always sure how to read it. And what it does is breaks it down into a format that you can understand what you read. You still got to look at no matter what, you still have to look at the raw information. But it breaks it down so you can have some understanding, and that's easier for you to consume, which I think is just great. I think about that in different areas of businesses I've worked in, and it's like, wow, if I had this, it would have been so much easier to understand what they were talking about. So, but right now I'm using Claude. That's more a productivity tool, as I'm finding. I use ChatGPT. I do a lot of my blogging, and now when I do the blogging, it's not that I'm just, okay, here's my idea, run with it. No. I'll put in an idea, I think I want to do something about this. So type it in and ask me questions about it, because I want them to understand what my thought process is, and not for them to tell me, well, this is what it is. No, 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 no. So some people get kind of turned off. Oh, that's being written by AI. No, no, no. I see it as an assistant. I've got the idea. I'm giving them an idea. And I'm saying, let's talk about this now. This is how I want to see it. This is my thought process about it. Let's see what we can do to make this happen and how will it look. And if I don't like it, I tell them, no, 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 that's not what I meant. I meant this. And what you'll find after a while when you work with some of these modules or applications, they start to understand how you speak, what your tone is, and how you may look at things a certain way. It's so freaking interesting, this cloud stuff or this AI stuff. So anyway, I use the Claude. I'm now. Okay, I used to use AI. Harpa AI. It's a page awareness tool that I loved. So when I was on blog and I wanted to try to find something, say, can you see where's this in the page? I can go ahead and correct it, or how can we make this sound better? Because I'm thinking I'm missing something here. So it was a page awareness kind of tool. So it could see everything I have on here, and it would help me navigate that page. Well, I guess I could only use it like 1,000. I don't know how they count it, like 1,000 clicks, or I don't know, but I used them all. What? So I go, Claude, hey Claude, Harpa wants to start charging me because I wasn't paying for Harpa. It's a free until I guess you reach this max. It's like $12. I'm not paying $12 a month. So I asked Claude, hey Claude, how do you get reset in Harpa? You don't. You have to pay now. Oh, really? But Claude has a very similar module. It's a Chrome extension, but it's not as fluid as Harpa. You have to tell it what you want, and what it does is kind of does its thinking, and then it's going to want you to confirm, which I appreciate, what it's going to do. And what's crazy is you can see it migrate through your document, which I think is great. But anyway, so I just started using the Chrome extension for Claude because I had already been using Claude for the productivity portion. ChatGPT, I work with that in regards to blogging, and Ideogram I use in regards to images. And I was noticing the other day when I was using Pinterest that now you have to identify when you're using any kind of AI images. Whoa, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But anyway, I'm getting an attention. See, that's how excited I get about this stuff that I'm doing now. But I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be turning 68, and the fact that I can still get excited about something, the fact that I'm still learning about something, the fact that I'm still curious about something, which I'm very, very, remember I told you folks, my dad had dementia, so for me to have the ability at 68, I'm happy about that, because you can start seeing signs for dementia 10 years, 15 years out. And that, I have to be honest, that's a concern that I have. I did have a scan done some time back, and because the plaque that's built up in your brains from some forms of Alzheimer's dementia, sometimes they can see because it's already starting to grow years before. They said I was clean. Thank you. But I'm pleased I can still get excited about it. I'm pleased I can still learn something new. And like I said, I'm really seeing this as a business. So I have to put the time in. And I enjoy doing that. I mean, I can be in the studio all day long. My poor big dog. Before the stickers, I could be in the studio all day long. Before photography, I could be in the studio all day long. And now I'm doing my blogging, my writing, and my pinning all day long. But see, if you notice, those are all kind of similar a skill set that's similar in all of those avenues of creativity or functions, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, 68, it's kind of interesting. I'm not quite sure what I want to do for my birthday. But 68 is a number that, well, it's not 70. 70 is going to be hit me in 2 years. I don't know how it hit 70. But I do know that when I was a young kid, 68 sounded so old. In fact, when I look at my mom, who is, like I said, going to be turning 86, she to me doesn't look 86. She doesn't, I think in our minds when we're very young, oh man, 85. All decrepit old lady over here sitting over here. That's not my mom. My mom's over there. She wants to go shopping. She got to look at the shoes. She's decorated. She's fixing up the house. She loves to bake. I mean, my mom is a go-getter. So it shouldn't surprise me that her girls are that way too. My sister is very active. They go skiing. I think she went venison hunting with her. Or no, was it venison? I think they went venison or moose hunting. No, elk. Hunting recently. She does that with her husband. I'm not doing that, but she does that. So my mom's daughters, I mean, we're kind of tough and we're active. We won't want to do things and we're busy. And I guess we don't fall far. Wait a minute. I guess we don't fall far. Let me start over. I guess we don't fall far from the tree, so to speak. Yeah, say that, Gigi. You've only had 2 sips. Maybe I need more. So nowadays, I think the aging process is just different. I think our attitudes are different. I think the way we approach life is different. We have the ability to live longer lives. Like I said, even when I was talking to my daughter and my baby girls, it was like, I was like excited and I felt, like lively and we were having fun. It was just a great time. And it's like, I don't feel like I'm 67 when I'm talking to my girls, and when I see my mom, she don't look like what I thought in my head when I was probably my daughter's age or even younger, that what an 85-year-old would look like. So really it's about attitude. If, like my mama says, as long as you keep your health is your most important thing. As long as you can stay healthy, you can do just about anything. But I think you can be not in the best of health, but your attitude can have a big adjustment on that as well. You can be hit with something, but how you take it in and how you deal with it can affect the outcome as well. So anyway, I don't know. I'm still thinking about 68 because that's coming soon. But I just wanted to chat a little bit. Tell me what you guys think about, the aging process and where are you at with all of this? All you women over 60, where are you at with all this? You know what I'm saying? Are you busy? Are you active? Are you living life? Are you living out loud? Are you living outside the lines? Do all that. Don't let anybody stop you from what you think. You can decide what you want to do. Usually by the time we reach our age, we have the kids are out of the house. Unfortunately, my big dog's still here. We've been divorced. I mean, we've been through it all. So this is your time. Don't wait for nobody. Time is precious. And when you get to be 68 years old, don't be wasting your time. Don't be wasting anything or anybody, especially if they don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I think that's all I'm going to get into right now because that was already like a lot. I kind of jumped around a lot, but that's Gigi. That's kind of what she does. But anyway, folks, it was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. We dropped a little money today because we got to work on getting that number back up. Our goal for this year is 10,000. That's my goal, so we'll see. But anyway, tits up. Let's be fierce, baby, okay? Tits up, folks. Have a good one. Until next time, ciao, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Ciao. So turn the lights on. You know just what we're here for.